Welcome to Season 3 of The Biz Show, sponsored by Invest Choir. Discover what's next with this insightful podcast. And now, your hosts, Barry and Lisa.
Hi, good morning, Barry.
Hey, Lisa, how are you today?
I'm doing great. Where did the week go, man? It's like flies by.
This whole year has flown by. I was watching Jimmy Kimmel last night, and he put in a montage of all the newscasters going, "Can you believe it's May already?" And he had
Oh,
like
yeah.
20 of them. Everyone's saying that. It's true. It's like this year is just flown by.
There's certain months that I like better than other months. So when it turned May 1st yesterday, I was so excited. I was like, oh, it's May 1st. And I don't know. I don't know if it's because it's Mother's Day or the weather starts getting a little bit nicer. But yeah, I'm excited about May.
See, I like rainy, stormy weather. So
Like
I like
December.
November, December, January, February.
I don't know. Are we out of the woods with the rain? Who knows? We'll see.
They said maybe this weekend, but who knows?
Yeah.
Let's jump into the podcast, shall we?
Yeah, we had a great one last week with Jake Gargarina, and
That was good. He's gonna be a great asset to your team. He's good, and definitely I look forward to following up with him.
yeah, we will make sure to do so. So
Yes,
yeah, we got some new listeners out there, and when you do listen, please subscribe to our Biz Show podcast.
please, we can't stress enough, and this is across the board. 98% of the listeners are not subscribers, right? So a lot of people listen. We got over 18,000 listeners, but we only got 1% subscribers.
It's not going to kill you to subscribe, right? It's just a little tap
It
of the button.
it is, and it helps us on the back end where Spotify and Pandora and Apple and Amazon will then promote our podcast more. The more
Yes.
subscribers you have, the more they serve it up when people are searching stuff.
Yeah, so pay it forward and help us out here with a subscribe. You don't have to listen to every podcast if your life is busy, but just subscribe to help us out.
Yes, thank you very much in
Yes,
advance.
season 3, episode 4. I feel like we just
Yes,
started season 3 yesterday, but here we are, episode 4 weeks later,
it is. So
talking
this
about.
podcast, we're actually going to just dole out some tips, huh? Basically, unscripted business and leadership insights, things that we've learned over our 20, 30, 40 years in business of,
Yes, this is
you
how I
know,
became an entrepreneur. It was all unscripted, you guys.
so we're going to provide you with some of our tips to avoid some of the headaches and pitfalls that we come across.
Right.
And the biggest one for me, and this is, I still have the issue today, is saying yes slowly and saying no fast.
I
It's hard for me to
just
say no.
Yeah, I just had this coaching session with my team a couple of days ago. I said you have to be diligent about saying no because we want you to stick to your calendar.
Yeah.
And the reason we want you to stick to your calendar is so that you could be disciplined and consistent with your business practices and with the things that you have that are important to generating leads for your company. So if you're always saying yes, you're never going to get anything done. Barry.
Well, that's why I got so much on my plate, right? And so I do have to learn to say no quickly and slowly say yes. And but those are things as a not just a new business owner, entrepreneur, but people who are 20 years into their business still
Oh.
struggle with this, right?
Yeah, there's those things that we don't enjoy doing, but we know it would be great for the business. And then we just keep putting it off and putting it off. And then you're ending up with kind of a plateau level of production because you're never able to soar higher in your productivity if you're always doing the same thing. So we got to get uncomfortable to reach new heights.
True.
Means say no.
Yeah. So what's our next one?
Oh, I guess I struggle with this. No, I don't. I'm actually a very good listener, but it's becoming a master listener so that you can learn.
Well, yes, exactly. I listen, you and I've had many conversations, but I'm also a fixer. So sometimes I want to jump in and fix stuff before I've actually listened to the whole story. So it's kind
Right.
of a love-hate relationship when it comes to that. But it's always good to listen to customers' feedback and really your employees too, right? They're front
Yes.
line.
Yes. And actually, it's better to listen and ask questions than be the one talking the entire time. Because when you're asking the questions, you're learning what the other person needs from you. And maybe that would be a good way to strategize into a sales, pitch that comes naturally because you're actually caring about what their answers are.
Well, that's the thing, right? So you can listen, but make sure that you take away from that and you do something about it.
Yeah. I was actually in an appointment the other day in a competitive listing situation, and they said at the end they wanted to think about it and talk it over because they did like the other broker as well. And I asked the question, well, what did you like about the other broker? And how do you think we differ? And I got a very honest answer. So then I was able to address those concerns that left them feeling like maybe the other broker was a better fit. So I was able to reiterate or clarify and reassure on that specific aspect so that they would feel like, okay, we are getting equal services here. Maybe it wasn't touched on enough during the presentation, but because I asked the question, I got my answer and I was able to address it.
Kudos. Good for you. And did you get the client?
It's still in the works. So we're working on
Mhm.
helping them get ready for the sale. And so, yeah, so we're just kind of nurturing the lead and showing up, even though we haven't got the signatures yet.
And that kind of backs into the last couple episodes that we talked about, right? About business development, right? Um, Nurturing that relationship, right? So we talked about, business development, marketing, and sales all going. Here go my hands again, right? We got to get on video so everybody can see that.
So next
But
Friday, we're going to do a video. I have somebody lined up to shoot us so we could at least try it out.
all right, cool. Yeah,
Yeah,
we
then you can
definitely
see
need a few practice
Barry and
runs.
I will be talking with our hands a lot. But
So
yeah,
so anyways, but yeah, those all come together, right?
yeah.
And you know, business development and what you were talking about, really, and that's what you're doing, nurturing that relationship.
Yeah,
So
do whatever
yeah,
you can possibly do, especially if you know what their hesitations or their obstacles are, and overcome them. So being a master listener will help you do that.
so the next one here is really focusing on the minimum viable community, MVP, right? MVC, sorry. And really what that is don't grow too fast. And I just had a conversation with somebody that from the group that we've belonged to through
The luncheon?
yeah, the luncheon, um, about growing too fast. And it's like really as you're starting your business out, you need to focus on what's in front of you and nurture that and cultivate it and tweak it and make it work before you start expanding your business. Because once your business expands to a certain point,
Yeah,
then you can't focus anymore because there's too much going on. And then
right.
unless you hire more employees and stuff like that. And then if you change processes midstream and stuff like that, people get scared and frustrated because people don't like change, right?
Hmm. That's right. We've
So
been on that a little bit. So yeah,
yeah,
having the stability to nurture the clients that you do have, right? And make sure you solidify those relationships so they come back and they're giving you referral business too.
right. So just make sure before you scale and grow your business that you've got all the processes in place, right? Your accounting, your payroll, your CRM, all that's there so that when you do scale, you've got things that are in line, which kind of takes us into the next one.
Yes. which is document everything, even the obvious stuff, because if you were to sell your business, you're going to want to have that system in place so that it's easy for the new owner to transition into your business. So I am guilty of that. I mean, I just do everything, wear all the hats, and I'm like, oh, I don't need to write this down. But it's so important to have those manuals.
I use Evernote, right? You know this. And so I'll put a lot of notes into Evernote, but still it's to me it's never enough. And I attention to detail. I I want to just have a conversation, but then I write a whole novel about it.
I know. And then, I mean, you really do. You're very thorough, Barry, for sure.
Well,
So we all
I'm
need
I'm
a
forget
Barry in our
but I'm
life.
forgetful too, so I have to go back and look at my
Oh,
notes.
you're afraid that you're leaving something out. That's why you're so thorough.
Well,
Yes.
I'm getting older, and as I'm getting older, I gotta leave breadcrumbs.
That's funny. So
So
yes, document everything. And what's number five? We got,
that's five is prioritize boring infrastructure. And again, we're talking these kind of all three of these last ones go together, right?
yeah,
We're talking about your accounting and stuff like that, your legal, your CRM, right? It's the thing is you want to get these things in place and
yes,
forget about them, move on, right?
right.
Because these are the minutia that's going to really tie you down, especially if you started your business out and you're working off the spreadsheets or
Yeah,
whatever. At some point, you're going to get to the point where you can't handle working on spreadsheets anymore. And then you're going to have
exactly.
to delegate or farm that out to somebody to do it for you. And that's going to hurt you financially, cost you some money.
I know. Yes, those are the boring things or the things that people put off and don't want to do. But they're so important in terms of prevention. Mhm.
Yes, they are. And that kind of leads us into the next one, Lisa. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you want to delegate because that's really where you maximize your efforts and your strengths of what you're
Well,
really great at doing. And then you're able to pass on some of those tasks to people, right?
you said it earlier, right? You wear a lot of hats.
Yeah,
And how many hours are in a day?
I know. I always say there's not enough hours in the day to get it all done.
And
I
the
always
thing
say that, but it's
is
so common.
there's 24 hours in a day, but
Yeah.
typically there's only 8 working hours in a day. However, if you're a business owner and entrepreneur, okay, that might be 16 hours in a day, but still it's
Yes.
never enough.
Yeah, I mean, you could get a text when you're in the middle of a dinner, with your family or something, and that's part of saying no. Like you have to actually say no to yourself and no, I'm not going to answer that text right now because I want to be present and focused with my family. And I'll get to it in the morning. People
Right,
are so used to like quick responses, but you have to decipher whether it's an emergency or not. And so um, definitely have people, a team, so you could delegate, right?
right. And
That's,
there's one other thing that I want to say about this too is don't be a micromanager. You
I
know,
know. Mhm.
you're delegating, you're hired people to do a certain job function. Step aside, let them do the job you hired them to do.
Yeah, I've really had to test that out with having my son on my team because I don't want to micromanage him just because, he's close, to me. And I just want to let him fail forward a little bit, right? To figure things out. Because when you fail at a task, that's when you learn.
So what's the key word there? You said fail forward,
Failing
right?
forward.
Right.
Yeah. There's
I
a
mean,
book.
we're failure is part of success, right? You can't have one without the other. And
Right.
you're going to fail many times before you hit that success mark. And so if you fail, make it a learning experience.
Yeah. So many bosses out there, I think they hinder their employees because they want to be, controlling and think that they could do it better, and they don't really allow for their team to fail or to, to put in their style of doing, the business. And I think that's um, a negative actually in terms of management. So
You,
yeah, let people shine, let them fail, let them shine, let them grow into the position.
yeah, Jake said this pretty good last week when we interviewed him, right? About when you take on a brand new job, the first week you're learning all this stuff,
Yeah.
right? And you're going to make mistakes and stuff like that. But you know, at a certain
Yep.
point, that stops, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So don't be afraid of delegating. Absolutely. Let go of your business a little bit and you'll be able to ride through those bumps for sure.
Right. Which takes us into number 7, which is,
Oh,
continuous
yeah.
learning, right? And we had again last week this conversation too. I'm a sponge, and at
Yeah.
64 years old, I'm still learning. I went to college just a few, 10 years ago, uh, for healthcare administration and stuff like that. So I'm always learning stuff.
Yeah.
And
I really, gosh, life is so interesting because now that I have a grandson and he's 8 months old, I'm looking through his eyes and I'm thinking, gosh, he came into this world surrounded by a very loving mom, my daughter, and we FaceTime all the time. And, just even through the phone, he's just staring at me and he's learning English language because I'm talking. I'm saying, give your mommy kisses. He's just learning so much. So I just think about an entrepreneur going into a new career or opening a business, and it's just all learning so quickly so that you could be successful in life and in business. And you have to be like a sponge, and it never stops just because you're 54 and you're, running a company.
yeah, and so reading between the lines, right? What Lisa has said, she's learning how to become a grandma.
Reading between the lines. I am, and it's so amazing. I really, for me, yeah, it's like, oh, I just want to teach him so much, and I want to do so many things with him. But I really pause and I just look at his face, and I realize what's going on for him. Like, what's going on for him is he's learning how to speak. He's
Yes,
learning kind of a straw, in his sippy cup, and he's just learning so many things. And so you just want to be present for each step of the way of your learning and absorb as much as you can out of it and take the good out of it so that you could, bring it into your business and in other, departments or avenues
right.
for growth. Hmm.
So what's number 8?
Oh gosh, this is a hard one. This is where you need to delegate the art of following up without being a pester or annoying to your clients, but definitely want to have some sort of calendar or system so you could follow up on a regular basis, but not overdo it.
Yes, and the thing is this is a area where AI can shine,
Oh, yes.
right? AI can shine on this in the sense that it can do some of the follow up. You've got to set it up and do some prerequisites for it, but there are programs out there, your calendar, whether you're using Google's calendar or Microsoft's calendar, there are options in there that you can set up, and it can have reminders to follow up on this. If you're running CRM
Okay.
can also do follow ups and stuff.
Automatic.
Yeah,
Yes. You could set up the templates. It's time consuming, but you could set them up for each type of email that comes in or certain times of the week for it to go out automatically, like an e-blast or something. I
yeah,
use that a lot and I love it because I get in front of my clients, right?
you do, and we've talked about this many times about drip campaigns, right?
Yeah. So important.
Yes, yes, they are. Well, so this is an interesting for me. Number 9 is seek out unconventional mentors. So,
Such as?
well, in the past, people. Well, first of all, people they look for mentors. For instance, Bill Gates, Mark Cuban, whoever, Winston Churchill, right? And I've studied these people. There's books on these people. I've read those books and stuff like that. But I also look for the person who is not that big celebrity type of CEO or whatever, but somebody who's gone through challenges, right? Somebody who has overcome challenges, whether those challenges are, marketing or the business. For instance, back in the 80s, maybe it was the early 90s, I don't remember now, but, when Detroit crashed and burned, the automotive, was it Iacocca came in and he saved the day, but all these businesses, automobile businesses were failing.
Oh, right.
right?
That's
So
so,
those are the people I'm looking to study, right? The people who have challenges and how they overcame those challenges. What were not necessarily how they overcame, but what were the things that they were looking at and targeted.
yeah, there was that movie that came out. It's such a good movie, Ferrari.
I
And
haven't
this is
seen it yet.
exactly, you need to watch it this weekend with Tammy because it's so reflective of your point that you're making because they faced all these challenges and he had to overcome them. And it was one of his race car drivers that actually became his mentor and taught him, how to win the race and the um, the ins and outs of the car that he was manufacturing and things like that. So just such a cool movie, but it really speaks to your point, Barry.
Cool. I think I will check that out.
Yeah, and of course the
So
cars are well back then, and when they first came out with them, the body line of the cars is just so beautiful. So if you get anything out of that movie, maybe you'll be admiring the car. So it's
woohoo.
ah,
So what's next?
that's a good point. I really like that.
Yeah,
Build
number
strong.
10.
Yeah, you want to have good relationships with your vendors and suppliers. So if you need something in a crunch, they'll be willing to help you. So, like photographers, I'm like, oh my gosh, I need you to shoot this listing. And they pretty much put me in the calendar within a day or two. So having great relationships helps your business go smoothly.
Yeah, I can't stress that this one enough. In the past, right? I always use the word team, and my suppliers and vendors are part of my team in order for me to get my job done. For instance, when I was a district manager, and general manager at a restaurant company, I had, I don't know, probably 25 vendors
Oh,
through
you
the
did.
various restaurants. And I built personal, again, relationships with them, business development. And then when times were tough or their stuff, wasn't missing or whatever, they were Johnny on the spot to help us take care of it. They became part of the team to help us overcome the shortage of whatever the shortage was, or you know, some of this happened during COVID, and so there was food shortages and stuff like that. They went out of their way to find stuff for us.
Oh, how cool. Yeah. So it really like pays forward. You don't even know how that's going to transpire, but by leaps and bounds, it helps you out with these difficult situations that you may face. So always be nice to your vendors. They're not just serving you, they're actually trying to build their business. And so you can have that mutual respect, right? Where you're helping each other.
Right. And there's been times I've called them and said, look, you guys just raised the price. And that's just we can't do that. So can you help me here? And they've lowered the price a little bit, not all the way back to the original, but yet they were able to soften the blow for me. And again, because you're nice to them and they're part of the team, they're willing to work with you.
Correct. Yep. So true. And you're still friends with them, even though you're not in that industry anymore. Some of them are becoming our clients too,
Yeah.
that want to
So
sell their
number
business.
11 is really key, and we kind of talked about this already, but right, take your failures as learning opportunities,
Yeah, it's
right?
data. Like how you put that. It's actually data for you to use.
It is data, right? And so those data points, what failed, you need to take a look at that. Okay, that's great. So it failed, you went down A, it failed, B, it failed, C, it failed, D, it failed. Hey, E's looking pretty good. Oh crap, it failed. Okay, I got to go to F. But there is information along the way of every single one of those failures of why they failed,
Hmm. Yeah,
right? So go
like
back and look at that.
dissect that. Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
All
Instead
right.
of
No,
blaming others, like instead of a manager who's just blaming somebody for something happening, that's just such a waste of time. Anyway, I don't want to go
it
down
is.
that.
It is. So what's number 12?
Oh my gosh, automate things. We again, these kind of all intertwine with each other, but having automation saves you time.
Well, again, AI can really help there. And I'm not really, I don't want to push AI on people, but and we've had conversations about bad AI and good AI, and there's a lot of good AI out there. And now it seems like everybody's got an AI model, right? Google's got one, Apple's got one, Microsoft's got one, Chat GBT's got one, and um, Elon Musk, he's got one. Everyone's coming out with their own AI. Samsung just announced on the updates on our phone, hey, we got a Samsung AI tied into your phone
Yeah,
now.
exactly. Yep.
So with that, you can help, or AI can definitely help you with that.
Yeah. Or pick a new system that can be automated if yours does not have automation. Yep.
Right, definitely so.
This
So,
kind of next one falls into your category with your intellectual property that you have.
well, yeah, so you need to protect yourself, right? And so there's where copyrights, patents, and trademarks all come into place, right?
Hmm.
And you might need an attorney for this. I mean, you can do this stuff on yourself or by yourself for the most part, but don't wait until your company's grown to become this big entity, and now you want to copyright or patent something, right? Start early,
Right.
right? While you can, because nobody's doing it. If you become this big company, all of a sudden everybody's going to try and copy you, and they're going to try and take your idea or whatever the case might be and run with it.
It'll be too late.
It could be too late. Absolutely. What we got
And
next? Let's
then you
see.
got your business brand, right? We had an episode on branding your business, but I mean there is the person behind the brand, which is you, the owner, the inventor of the company. And we want you to have a personal brand that kind of coincides with your business brand so that people know the history behind the business and who is the one that started it. People love those stories. So we want you to have a standout. We want you to have value. So build
They
your
do.
reputation along the way so that people will get to know you and want to do business with you.
And there's a good example here. Um, and that's Elon Musk, right?
Yeah,
So you, as the owner of a business, the business has a reputation, but you have a reputation too. And both of you guys start to grow, and one of you might
correct.
grow better than the other or faster than the other, but you
Yeah,
need to be very careful of your own personal brand, yourself and your character, because at some point people are going to listen to what you say, and when you say things, they hinge upon every single word you say. That's true with Zuckerberg, that's true with Bill Gates, that's true with Elon, and look at the trouble and Tesla has gotten into and all the shares that they've lost. Matter of fact,
yeah.
so much so, yesterday news was reporting that the board of directors for Tesla is getting ready to fire Elon Musk and hire a brand new CEO.
Wow. Yeah.
So that those are issues that you need to be cognizant of. I'm very careful. I don't go on Facebook and I don't post anything political or anything religion or any. If you go on my Facebook, you see a lot of food, right? Food brings people together, right? So
So that you could maintain your business.
yeah, so I try to be very careful of my image to make sure that I don't tarnish it. I don't, because that only tarnishes me, but it also will tarnish the Biz Show and Invest Choir and everything else.
If people don't agree with you, yeah, it's maintaining a neutrality.
Exactly. And
Hmm.
let's face it, today's world, there are going to be people that don't agree with you. I could go out and say the sky is blue, and I'm going to get all kinds of people coming back at me saying, no, it's not, it's this, or it's that, or it's turquoise or teal or whatever.
Yeah. And why do that? It's just a waste of, it just creates havoc.
It does. Um,
Stay neutral. Yeah.
yeah, definitely try to stay neutral, right? So the next one is network strategically, not randomly. And Lisa and I, we do this a lot in the sense that we'll go to trade shows and we focus on who we want to talk to. Last trade show we're at, we saw who we kind of did a quick walkthrough. Okay, we want to talk to this person. We want to talk to this person. Forget them. They got nothing to help us with and we can't help them. So we're really trying to strategically work whatever's to our best advantage,
Correct. Yep.
right?
And acting attention. instead of just, I think part of, being disciplined about your calendar and having a business plan and knowing what numbers you need to accomplish for the week kind of all is a tie-in to being strategic. So all of those components are part of that strategy, if you will, and having the intention means you'll get the results. So I
Yes.
that you want to be mindful.
So what's number 17?
Review your numbers, review and refine your pricing strategy or any of your business systems. You definitely want to take that data and review it to help you expand or pivot. We use that word a lot. Knowing what your competitors are doing and helping your value proposition evolve so that you could soar ahead of your competition.
Right.
And
The market changes, right? And like gas prices, right? All the gas stations are raising lower and the competition is tight.
right. Yes, so you may need to get some electric cars or you may need to the way you're doing your business just to adapt to
Yes.
whatever those obstacles are.
So number 18 is, and really, Lisa, you probably shine at this one more than I do, but creating a wow moment for your customers.
Right. I love having those things where you could totally shine. If they're like, if there's something that looks like it's failing, I actually turn it into, it's like, what do they say? Turn lemons into lemonade. Turn it into something really cool, like where your customer goes, wow, I thought we were going to lose money or I was going to have to pay more money but you actually start, doing something that actually saves the money or provides the discount, wowing your customer. I had an agent say, oh, hey, will your seller, credit this amount of money? And I said, no. And so then he decided, to take it out of his commission and wow his customer and give them the credit just to help them feel good about the sale. So
Yeah,
whatever it may
that's
be.
that's really good. And I always try to undercommit and over deliver if possible. That's another like, oh, cool. As you as said, you save a lot of money. Um, all
Yes.
right. So number 19.
We're getting down to the bottom of the list. So understanding the why for your customers and so that you can communicate clearly and actually show them that you're serving their needs, right? It's not
Yes,
just about the money, but it's about making, like, again, wowing your customers, having them come back again, um, and just understanding people. So, why
yes.
do people? And then you want to be able to provide exactly or speak exactly to those needs.
You hit the nail on the head on that one. And the last one is, and this is something I try to do every day, is take time for strategic thinking. I try to take 1 hour out of my day that there's no emails, there's no text, whatever, and think about this, that. I haven't had a chance to do it lately, but I would do this all the time. Just take an hour and just let your mind wander about the business and stuff like that. And what
I
about
usually,
this? What about that?
yeah, it usually comes upon me when it's like totally silent, like in the car or when I'm sleeping and I wake up in the middle of the night. Those are the times when that strategic thinking comes into play. Unfortunately, that's what keeps me up hours on end at night. But yeah, so definitely try to carve out time during the workday, not in the middle of the night, to do your
Something,
strategic thinking and planning and marketing and tweaking your
yeah.
business.
The scary thing for me, half of my stuff comes in when I'm in the shower.
Yeah,
What?
that too. Like when I'm in the bathroom getting ready for work. I have all these thoughts and then I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to text this person. And then it ends up taking me 2 hours to get ready because I'm working while I'm it's
Right.
so funny. I think that happens to a lot of people. We tend to think when we're alone without distraction.
Yes. Well,
Mhm.
inflection, interaction with yourself, right? Well,
Yeah,
anyways, that wraps us up.
that wraps up episode 4.
So 20, those are 20 tips from Lisa and I about, things to do as a entrepreneur and a business owner.
Yeah, hopefully you guys took some notes and maybe it'll help you out with something that you're dealing with today. But leave us a comment on our Facebook business page. We have an Invest Choir page and we have the Biz Show Facebook page, also on Instagram. Or you can reach out to us via our website or my phone number or Barry's number is all over our social media pages and website.
Yes, guys. Have a great day, man. Appreciate it. Don't forget to subscribe.
Yes, please subscribe. Make it a great day. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to the Biz Show podcast. Subscribe to stay updated and follow Barry and Lisa on Facebook at The Biz Show. Share your comments or suggest specific business topics you'd like to hear. Bye!